Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching The Conjuring by James Wan, starring Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. I am pretty familiar with Wan's filmography as I have watched the first couple of Saw movies when they came out, and I do remember how controversial those films were with the gore and the torture and stuff. I've also watched the seventh Fast and the Furious film he directed and Aquaman. They were okay, but for me, from the 3 or 4 films I've watched from him, Saw was the best. I also want to say that I'm not scared of horror films. I mean, I don't even believe in anything supernatural at all. Some jump scares might get to me, but that's about it. The only horror film that actually got to me was Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which is a masterpiece. This also doesn't mean I don't enjoy horror films. I wasn't a fan of them growing up, but I have come to appreciate them. I've watched quite a few of them on the channel, including The Omen, The Exorcist, among others. Please check them out when you have the time. Finally, onto The Conjuring. I've known about this movie, this franchise, over the past decade, but as I just mentioned, I wasn't the biggest fan of horror back then, so I intentionally avoided them. This franchise got famous over time with more films, and with Halloween coming up soon, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to review this franchise with you guys. I'll start with this one, and if the next is worth reviewing, let me know and I'll review the next and we'll go from there. I don't know what to expect from this plot-wise, but I know it has something to do with hauntings, paranormal investigations, and this Annabelle doll I keep hearing about. I believe they even made a standalone film about the doll. I don't know what to expect, like I said, plot-wise, but I don't expect to be scared. I am, although, expecting a well-made film, because as I understand it, this movie, it made a ton of money and spawned an entire franchise, so hopefully it's worth the watch. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 220 movies, 2 TV shows, early access, and weekly posts for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along, and the links in the description below. Please consider your Patreon. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications to check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. The Conjuring, Wan, Farmiga, Wilson. Let's go.
It scares us just thinking about it. It started out small.
Is this the Annabelle doll?
Ever think that maybe somebody had a key to your apartment and was just playing a trick on you?
Never once did we find any sign or evidence of intrusion.
And this all led you to believe that the doll was possessed?
Yes.
You did what?
She wanted to live with us by inhabiting the doll. We said yes.
So Annabelle is actually the ghost of this young girl who moved into the body of the doll and was messing with people. Oh, that's quite the intro for the film.
When we came home, she was sitting in the hallway, but we had left her in the spare room.
Dude. Is this film actually going to be like Chucky, where the doll comes to life? I don't think so. It's more passive. No, Debbie, it's going to come back. Dude. Alright, jump scares do work on me, by the way. Even though I don't believe in the supernatural or anything, but sudden movements like that. Oh man, it's back.
We are beyond terrified. Can you help us?
Yes, we can.
Ghosts don't possess such power. I think what we have here is something extremely manipulative.
You gave it permission to infest your lives.
Oh.
What's an inhuman spirit?
It's something that's never walked the earth in human form.
What I like right here is that they're establishing rules for the universe, so I know what to expect to some extent.
So the doll was never possessed.
No, it was used as a conduit. It wanted to get inside of you.
Man, I bet they're scared as crap. And this also establishes our main 2 characters.
Where's the doll now?
Someplace safe.
That's ambiguous.
I mean, what do people call you?
It's Ed and Lorraine Warren.
They're married, Ed and Lorraine. Since the 60s, Ed and Lorraine Warren have been known as the world's most renowned paranormal investigators. Lorraine is a gifted clairvoyant, while Ed is the only non-ordained demonologist recognized by the Catholic Church. Ooh, out of the thousands of cases throughout their controversial careers, there is nobody malevolent. They kept it locked away till now. This is based on a true story. Okay, I need to look up the actual events after the film, of course. 1971, 3 years later. Okay. And from this establishing shot, I can already tell a lot. I believe this family is moving in, and they have the movers in their back.
Wow. Sadie, let's go.
Dude, Sadie doesn't want to go.
Hey, come on, girl.
She smells something fishy, or at least feels it.
Yeah, thanks. Nancy, let's go. Give me here.
Hey, I recognize this actor. She's from Interstellar. That's not a good sign in a horror movie. These music boxes. I also recognize this actress. A secret room?
Whoa. I think we have a cellar or something.
A cellar.
Wow. I'll check it out in the morning.
I wonder if I was boarded up.
I don't know.
Ah, there is a good reason, I bet. I really like the color grading so far. It's very desaturated. It gives it a dead look, the movie.
Sadie! Hey, be quiet.
Yeah, Sadie doesn't like the energy. Oh man, she bruised her leg?
How did you guys sleep?
I'm cold.
It is chilly, isn't it?
Haunted houses are known to be cold.
And there was this really funky smell in my bedroom last night. Reeked like something died.
Dude, the door to the cellar is open.
Roger!
Down here.
Oh, no, okay. It's just Roger investigating.
What are we gonna do with all this stuff?
Well, we probably ought to go through it.
Roger,
Yeah.
this clock stopped at 3:07 and so did the one in the hallway.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Both the clocks stopped at the same time.
Ouch. I didn't do that. Did I?
I don't know.
I like the camera work in this scene, how it's following her.
What's going on?
What happened?
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh, Sadie!
dude, Sadie's dead.
Everything you see in here is either haunted, cursed, or has been used in some kind of ritualistic practice. Nothing's a toy.
They literally have a museum.
It's kind of like keeping guns off the street.
Well, why not just throw them in an incinerator?
Good point.
Destroy
Well,
them.
that would only destroy the vessel. Sometimes it's better to keep the genie in the bottle.
Oh, wow, okay. That's one way to look at it. Warning, positively do not open.
Well, Father Gordon told me that.
That was different. What happened to my wife happened during an exorcism.
What happened?
Well, you look very pretty.
All right, all done.
The camera is very smooth flowing in most scenes.
Stop blaming yourself.
I'm guessing something happened during an exorcism.
No sugar.
I'm sure we'll get to find out
Be right back.
soon enough. Oh man, it stopped again. 3:07 on the dot.
Not funny, Nancy.
It's not Nancy.
Stop farting.
It's that smell.
It really stinks.
Oh man, it's coming from the basement, the cellar. I also have to commend the sound design of the movie so far.
Dad,
Andrea, what are you doing out of bed?
I've never seen her do this before.
Banging her head against the closet.
She ended up in Andrea's room too. I think kind of freaked her out.
That's not good.
Another bruise. Dude. Yeah, look how desaturated everything is. Even though it's like green, it's not super lush.
Yes.
I like the look of the movie.
Yeah, let's play.
Man, she's talking to that music box.
When the music stops, you see him in the mirror standing behind you.
Okay.
Boo, Mommy!
It
Got ya!
hurt, Zach.
I also actually like the fact that James Wan is taking a lot of time to introduce his family and these characters.
Oh, I know where you're hiding.
Oh.
Give me the third clap.
Dude, that clap was not her. It was too slow and creepy.
Ha! You took your blindfold off. I went. You weren't even warm, Mom. I was in Christine and Nancy's room.
Then whose hands clapped? It's really good filmmaking, I have to admit.
Stop it, Nancy.
The use of no sound effects here really builds up the tension. Nice camera work.
It's looking right at us.
So only people who are directly haunted get to see
Nancy, don't. Nancy,
the ghost?
No, look. I was just sleeping and then I felt someone grab my feet.
Notice the camera work is more erratic now compared to very smooth flowing camera work in the earlier scenes. Things are happening.
I know you're worried it's going to happen again.
Yeah, I am. I really am.
I mean, was she possessed?
We take the water coming off the pipe combined with the wind coming through the broken window, these boards are going to expand and rub against each other.
Ah, a rational explanation.
This place isn't haunted.
No, it rarely is.
Oh no. Oh man. It's happening now. No more indirect paranormal stuff. It's direct now. Yeah, there's a clear difference in camera work between the non-supernatural and supernatural scenes.
Who's ever down there? I'm gonna lock you in now!
You're not going to lock it, it's locked in with you. Dude. That's so creepy. Jeez. Okay, James Wan is really using these jump scares so well. I mean, again, I'm not scared, but I am nervous for these characters. And I'm on edge because I don't know when to expect a jump scare next. Again, with that closet. We saw hands come out of it earlier. Fudge? Was that Annabelle's ghost? Dude, that jump scare was so good. Especially considering how it built up slowly.
If you look into his eyes, you can see him tearing blood. An upside-down cross started to appear from within his body.
I mean, yeah, these were the days before video manipulation. People really buy that.
Now, this is where the victim, and it's usually the one who's the most psychologically vulnerable, and once in a weakened state, leads them to the third and final stage, possession.
Yeah, they're finally approaching Ed and Lorraine.
There's something horrible happening in my house. Could you come and take a look?
There's usually some sort of rational
I have 5
explanation.
daughters who are scared to death. You have a daughter. And wouldn't you do anything you could to protect her? Please.
Yeah.
Of course we will.
I think we're about to start Act 2 of the movie. The first act was the setup. The second act is the investigation. And hopefully the third act is some sort of resolution.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Warren. We're all sleeping down here now.
All night long, just like that.
Does it come in threes? Sometimes it's meant as an insult to the Trinity, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Show me the cellar.
It's always the seller. And she's a clairvoyant. As far as I understand it, she can touch something and tell its history.
Mom and Dad tell me that you have a friend.
His name's Rory. He lives here too.
And of course, it's a creepy clown. There it is! Yeah, she doesn't seem scared because I'm sure she's seen stuff like this before. She looks very concerned though.
What is it?
She feels something. Someone was hanged on this tree.
I've been seeing the dark entity that haunts your house and your land. And it doesn't matter where you go, this dark entity has latched itself to your family and it's feeding off you.
So we're gonna have our guy do some homework on the property, though, to see what we're up
Like
against.
set up cameras and stuff and try to catch it on tape.
Honey.
One for you and one for me.
Oh.
Put a picture of you and Daddy in mine.
From the first occurrence.
Nothing.
She's one of the women accused of witchcraft in Salem. She was hung during the trials.
Ooh, the Salem trials. I don't know too much about it, but I've heard of it.
Her last name's Walker. She lived there in the 30s. She had a boy named Rory who mysteriously disappeared in the woods. Then she killed herself in the cellar.
Officer Brad Hamilton, Harrisville, Rhode Island, PD.
Oh, police.
Nice to meet you, man.
The days before motion sensors. They're actually using tripwires to capture images.
How could a mother kill her own child?
It was never a child to her. She just used her God-given gift as the ultimate offense against him. Which... Wow. That's a nice day at the beach, huh?
How did you know? I've never seen them so happy. They mean the world to me.
Yeah, the entity is getting more bold. It's doing stuff. That was a good misdirection. Yeah, every single time I see anything paranormal or supernatural, the camera goes handheld and shaky compared to the daytime shots.
Yeah, maybe the camera picks something up.
That was definitely picked up.
It must have been a draft.
I'm with Brad, by the way.
It's funny. The draft never put that look on my face before.
I also have to admit the pacing and editing of the film they've been very good so far. I haven't felt bored. There's always something happening. Even during the downtimes, we get a lot of exposition. Whoa! That was cool. Dude, is she possessed now?
Are you okay? I'm fine.
Oh man, she's definitely suspicious.
Really means a lot to us to have you here. I gotta admit, I was a little bit skeptical going in.
Whatever Lorraine sees, feels, touches, it helps people, but it also takes a toll on her.
Clearly.
A little piece each time. It took a real big piece.
She didn't trigger it.
What do you mean she didn't trigger?
Somebody's with her.
Is she going to that closet again? Oh man, there's something inside the closet. Yep, it's the closet.
That's where Rory hides when he's afraid.
Oh, it's starting to make sense a little bit. Somehow left this place and got to the tree. Ouch!
No!
She's trying to summon Rory.
She made me
Oh man, it's one of the moms who killed their child.
She made me do it. She visits Carolyn every night. That's what the bruise marks are. She's feeding off of her.
Ah, it's making even more sense now.
Judy?
That's her daughter.
I had a vision of Judy in the water. I know it was some kind of warning.
Telling them to back off or it'll come after their daughter.
But the approval would have to come directly from the Vatican.
Really?
Father, they don't have a lot of time.
One more thing I really like about this movie is the fact that it's not trying something new. It's very much a traditional horror film. Oh man, don't... No! Don't go into that ghost artifact room.
Anna?
The Annabelle doll is gone. Jeez. That's creepy as heck. Damn. I think the entity was trying to send a warning. I also thought this film would be about Annabelle the doll, but it isn't. It's back.
She didn't say what was going on, she just left.
Huh? What do you mean she left? Left where?
Gone. I don't know where she was going.
Holy crap. Oh no, she is clearly possessed now. And I believe the entity is trying to get her to kill her own daughters.
She possesses the mother to kill the child. That's what she does. She's taking them back to the house.
Get her here!
I don't think she can leave the house.
If we take her out, the witch will kill her.
Oh man, superhuman strength. Oh, things are really going off the rails now.
I have to do it. The exorcism.
What?
You can do it.
But you gotta get out of here.
Another creative use of camera.
Defende no sempre elio.
It's more powerful than they expected. I mean, seriously, James Wan is using these jump scares so well.
God damn it, stop it!
Oh man, the sound design in this scene.
Seculo liberator.
Oh no, that's the calm before the storm. Of course, there's a levitation scene.
Ignis! Let her go! God damn it! Let her go!
She's already gone.
Oh man.
And now you're all gonna die.
I mean, the makeup on her face is also so good.
I condemn you back to hell!
Bathsheba.
Remember what you showed me.
A picture of Peach. Oh man, don't tell me that she's going to kill herself to stop her from killing her own daughter. Oh man, that bile is coming out. We saw the bile go in earlier in the film, so I'm guessing the entity left her. I'm glad she didn't die.
I love you so much.
I mean, yeah, she loves her kids so much, even the entity couldn't get her to kill them.
The draft do that to your face?
I'd take a guy with a gun any day.
One more thing I enjoyed about the film was the fact that nobody died, right? Unlike other traditional horror films where the entity will pick off one person after another. Looks like they bought back a souvenir.
The Vatican approved the exorcism.
Oh.
Nice timing.
Diabolical forces are formidable. These forces are eternal and they exist today. The fairy tale is true, the devil exists, God exists, and for us as people, our very destiny hinges on... Oh man, I couldn't get the last part. But it was by Ed Warren. The real person, I think. And we didn't get to see Annabelle at the end. Oh! The real Perron family. And the Warren family, wow. Yeah, this was a very good movie. I have to admit, I did have a good time with this. Surprisingly so. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a surprisingly well-made movie. I didn't expect to have this good of a time with it. Although I have to admit I don't believe in the supernatural and this movie didn't scare me in the traditional sense. It did have a lot of entertainment value and strengths, like its cinematography, editing, overall storytelling, the pacing, sound design, and most of the performances. The only weakness is also a strength, I guess. It depends on how you look at it. The fact that it doesn't try anything new with the horror genre. I mean, it was a pretty straightforward exorcism movie, but the execution of the plot was excellent with well-timed jump scares and careful world building. Let's start with the directing by James Wan and the script by Chad Hayes and Carrie W. Hayes. The story here kind of reminded me of The Exorcist in the sense that an innocent family moves into a haunted house where the girl gets possessed and has to be exorcised. In this case, the entire family is the target. The filmmaker spent a lot of time introducing us to this family and giving us some exposition on the house they moved into before showing us our investigators, Ed and Lorraine. The fact that the movie used a very traditional 3-act structure helped in the pacing. The first act had the introduction to the characters, the second was the investigation by Ed and Lorraine, and the third was the possession and the actual exorcism. The excellent editing really separated these 3 acts, and it helped with the feeling of a smooth flowing narrative, if that makes any sense. I thought the film was fairly well paced, and I didn't feel bored even during the downtimes because we got a lot of exposition and world building. I wanted to highlight the great use of jump scares in the movie and how perfectly they were timed. Even though I, again, wasn't scared, it really did its job by keeping me on edge almost all the time. I was looking at the mirrors and all the corners of the screen. It created a sense of paranoia. Good stuff. I also thought that the Annabelle doll would have a significance to the plot, but I'm guessing they were saving it for the future. The fact that it was based on a true story, that was a surprise for me too, not only because it added some much needed weight and agency to the plot, but it also made the story way more interesting. I'll definitely be looking up Ed and Lorraine after finishing the review. Moving on to the production end, where this film really shines, I thought the cinematography was gorgeous. You probably didn't expect me saying that because the colors looked very washed out, but that's exactly why I thought it was great. It really suited the film and created an atmosphere where the colors of the world were almost taken away from the characters, literally taking life away from the scene. That was a great visual choice. Furthermore, James Wan used a lot of creative shots, especially the establishing ones and the transitional ones. The smooth flowing nature of those shots made the visual experience very cohesive. The differences in the camera movements, they were also very noticeable from the first to the third act, where the camera seemed very stable at the beginning as we were introduced to the family, and shifted more towards very shaky at the end, which was clearly meant to be a reflection of the state of mind of these characters. I also appreciate the practical nature of the production and effects. The fact that James Wan, he favored a lot of practical effects over spectacular CGI. That kept the movie feeling authentic, realistic, and grounded. The sound design of the film was another highlight for me. Little sounds here and there really made me paranoid, for lack of a better word. Sometimes the sounds came without explanation, and that helped set the mood and the ambience for the movie. The score itself was kept to a minimal, especially during the more scarier scenes. I like that. Ooh, and before I forget, the performances from the cast were also fairly commendable. I wouldn't say that they were Oscar-worthy or anything, but Farmiga, Wilson, they were really good in their roles, and so were the 5 kids of the haunted family. Their performances really stood out to me. Like I mentioned before, the only criticism I had of the film was the fact that it didn't break any new ground in the horror genre. They took a safe approach, but that can also be seen as a good thing because instead of trying something wacky or new, the filmmakers made the best possible version of a traditional horror movie. I like that too. Overall, The Conjuring was a surprisingly well-made film in the horror genre. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, James Wan almost nearly perfects the traditional horror film template with excellent narrative choices, well-timed jump scares, and compelling cinematography. The practical effects, sound design, and performances from the cast I felt they were complemented by the well-paced storytelling. I'd definitely be interested in seeing the sequel, especially if Annabelle is involved. Do let me know in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video. Dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.